What's up, guys? After that epic championship Sunday that football gave us, congratulations to the Chiefs and 49ers rematch from a few years ago. Should be an epic Super Bowl. But with baseball about to take center stage, I thought it would be a good segue to do another installment of Story Time with Cass Mack. And this one involves the Braves. It was back on May 20th, 2010, and if that date sounds familiar to many Braves fans, it was the Brooks Conrad Grand Slam game against the Cincinnati Reds, and it was one of the greatest memories I've ever had. You know why? Because I got to watch that game in math class. Mr. Glennon was my math teacher, and we struck up a friendship because of my obsession, passion, love of baseball. His with the New York Yankees, me with the Braves. So there was an immediate rivalry, and he was just so awesome, super cool. And this is why teachers matter. But I came in that day so mad because it was a Thursday getaway, and obviously most of the time that's when you get day games for baseball, just because of scheduling. So I was so angry that I was gonna miss the game, and he had an entire lesson plan and whatever, and I told him, and he said, "Oh, okay," and he just said, "All right, we're gonna turn the lesson today into math baseball," and he printed up a bunch of scorecards and taught the entire class how to score a baseball game just so I could watch the game, which was absolutely amazing and comical because everybody didn't know what was going on. A lot of people didn't watch baseball at all, so the reactions and everything were super hilarious. And of course, I knew how to score a baseball game because I've been around it my entire life. But watching him try to explain it, and me watching the game while this is going on, and obviously that's amazing. Although it didn't start out great, I think when the class ended, we were down about 7-3 or so. So I wasn't happy and didn't really finish my scorecard. But the funniest part of that whole thing was our principal walked in at some point, and Mr. Glennon's face got so red because he didn't know what to do. But then he was able to gather himself and just say, "Today we decided to make math and baseball combined," and she kind of looked at him a little weird, but it was like, all right, and just walked away. And you could see that he knew he kind of got away with one there, and we both kind of snuck a look at each other, and it was so funny. So by the end of that class, I think we were down 7-3, so I was expecting a loss when I got home. So I quickly turned the TV on, and I was taking my shoes off and everything, and the Brooks, it was bases loaded, 2 out, 1 out, with Brooks Conrad at the plate, and that ball goes up in the air. I'm like, "Oh, are you kidding? Are you kidding?" And I screamed so loud. My brother and my mom thought I had fallen or something and terrible had happened, but it was, and once I told them what happened, we all went nuts together, and it was just one of the best things ever. And for Mr. Glenn to pivot an entire lesson and just turn it into baseball so I could watch the game, that is a pro and dope move, and I will never ever forget that game, not only for how it ended, but for how it started for me. And the next day I came in and told him what happened, and he didn't believe me, so he immediately tried to flip on ESPN to catch the highlights. Unfortunately, the bell rang before they got to the highlights because he really didn't believe me, especially because the ball went off Lance Nix's glove to give us that victory. It was one of the most improbable victories I think I've ever seen and ever will see, probably in baseball. But to be able to watch it in class and do a scorecard of that game, even though I crumpled it up halfway through the fourth inning because we were down so big, is a memory that I'll never forget. And Mr. Glennon also came to a lot of my baseball games for the next couple of years. So here's to say teachers do matter, and teachers are awesome, and Mr. Glennon was just very, very influential to where I am today. And we continue to talk sports and communicate to this day. So it's just one of those things that I'll never, ever forget, and be so thankful that during a time in my life that was a little not great, I could always come to his class and just talk baseball and forget about everything that was going on. And watching baseball in school when you're not supposed to, that is one of the greatest joys I ever had. But that one was the first time and my favorite time, because he didn't have to do it. He did it. We had fun. We had a lot of laughs, and it's just one of those things that will always be in my memory. And man, love you, Mr. Glennon. Thank you. And hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys. As always, go Braves, champions forever. Man, the Brooks Conrad Grand Slam game was so epic.